should be going over here. It says we're live. Maybe. Go. Boom. Cool. And there we go. Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Press Play with the News 19 Nerds. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
Thank you for joining us for this holiday edition. I call it a holiday edition just to make it seem fancy.
I mean, it technically is a holiday edition.
Yeah. Black Friday for some, others just day after Thanksgiving, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. We're here at work because everybody else was off.
Yep.
So we're here, and we said, let's talk with our friends in the world, whoever decides to join us on this chat for whenever they come in. Hope you guys are having a good holiday. Happy Thanksgiving, wherever it is. Trying to make the most out of 2020 because it has been not a great year.
Yeah, for some of us it has been.
It has it?
I got a son out of it, so.
Okay.
I got a son in the PS5. I'm happy.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know what y'all complaining about.
All right. That's all you needed was a progeny and a new video game system. Okay. That's cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chadwick felt some way about that.
Yeah, he was like, how dare you? Maybe you have to just refresh the whole thing.
You know our internet down here is slow, sir.
I do know that. So what are we talking about tonight?
All right, we're going to talk about, we get a lot of sequels, a lot of people rebooting stuff. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask, how would you reboot a franchise that's near dear to your heart, or something? And what about that franchise is special? Or what about that first movie was magical, and why does everybody continue to try to capture that magic? Where do they go wrong, and what would you do to fix it?
Y'all, he threw this on me like 2 hours ago, which is a great question, but not something I was expecting the day after Thanksgiving that I really had to think about. And Leroy just threw it a fastball at me and said, here you go.
I figured you were smart.
Not the day after Thanksgiving. Not after what we went through today.
Sir, I can always... when it comes to nerd stuff, don't matter what affected me. I live for this.
So
we can start with that one, or we can start with the mystery topic.
I mean, I guess we'll start with that one.
Okay.
I'm going first.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, based off like a few hours, I have two in mind. I'll do one, and if we have more time, we'll do the other one.
All right.
I'll say Ninja Turtles.
Ooh.
The first movie.
That's a good one.
The first movie was before everything was dark and gritty. Mm-hmm. If you could look back, the first Ninja Turtles movie, it was pretty dark and gritty. Spoiler alert, they throw Shredder in a trash can and crush him. He comes back, but
isn't the subject material dark and gritty?
It is.
Like the original Ninja Turtles was dark and gritty.
Eastman and Laird, the original stuff was dark and gritty. Then the cartoon happened, and it was hokey and cheesy, and I love it, but it was definitely a different departure. That first movie, it was, I'm pretty sure Jim Henson did the animatronics for all that. So the turtles themselves look great. The action was great. It was a well-made movie. Again,
kind of still holds up.
Oh, for sure, definitely still holds up. The second movie, I think was okay. I don't think it was as good. They decided to go more in that cheesy cartoon route.
Got to sell them toys.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a well-known thing. But if you notice, the turtles never used their weapons in the second one, because they wanted to be PG and they didn't want to seem too aggressive. So they never actually used any of their weapons in the second movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, they're just stuck on their backs, whatever, and using like different objects and stuff in the mall and other scenes.
Okay.
Yep. But there we go. And then the third movie was Turtles in Time. No, not Turtles in Time. Scepter of the something of the Scepter. I don't know. It was bad. And then Michael Bay did two of them. They weren't great, but I will tell you this: at least the sequel of the Michael Bay movies really tapped into the cartoon stuff of having Bebop, Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman. Yeah. So that was cool. But yeah, the first one.
The second one was better.
If you are really into the lore, I would say it's at least more comic book accurate, or cartoon accurate, I should say.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, it's Turtles.
That's it?
What else are your questions?
Like, tell me what was about the first movie that the subsequent movies never captured.
I think the producers and everybody in charge, when they started to go to the other movies, they decided we need to capture this kids market so much. we really need to focus on the kids market and not worry about the things that got us here in the beginning. So that's why you have them not using the weapons. That's why you have the cheesy one-liners. That's why you have Kino, who was awesome, by the way, but he is a Ninja Turtle. He was the guy who was the pizza delivery guy in the second one. He was kind of like their sidekick or whatever.
Oh, he was their dope ender.
I wouldn't say that.
What would you say?
No, I mean, because he could hold his own, and he is a martial artist. I want to say that was Ernie Reyes Jr., I think. Yeah. Yeah. The second one was all right, but everybody's coming in now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. People are giving us their stuff in there too. Cool, I like that. What's the next question?
Basically the whole idea is like I was trying to get you to basically explain and expound upon what about it is and what have they lost through and through every single iteration that we're still trying to capture that first movie.
Well, it's weird because like the cartoon property itself, Turtles is, just as strong as it ever was. Turtles has a way of rebooting itself. There have been so many cartoon iterations that continue to do well.
The toys continue to do well too.
Yeah, Eastman and Laird I think Eastman's back now with somebody else writing the last Ronin story of the one turtle who survived in like a post-apocalyptic world or whatever, which is great. Thank you for giving me that, by the way.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I don't know what it is about the Turtles, but they find a way to reboot themselves over and over when it comes to comic books and cartoons. And I'm sure there will be more movies along the way, but to me, nothing is as high. Maybe the fourth cartoon or the fourth movie that was CG animated, it was just TMNT. That was very good. I can't remember when that came out, but that was before Michael Bay.
Now, see, okay, now I guess this is the interesting thing. You have a franchise that is part of the problem. You're trying to service the same fan base with two different genres, with an animated fan base and a movie fan base, instead of just trying to do good movies on one end and just make them good and they can be PG-13 and be like a hard PG-13. You still go get people to come because we still let kids watch Deadpool. Not me, but some people let their kids watch Deadpool.
I went to, was it Deadpool 2 and some lady was in there with her 6-year-old and then she's like, I can't believe what this was. Like, lady, the trailer was pretty clear what this was going to be.
Well, this is and I guess I wonder, is it this is where I get mad at parents, or I get mad at people who don't understand like what they're taking their kid to, because and I understand as a parent you can be overwhelmed, but I'm like, look at what your kid is trying to get you to see, or what because I never forget the second Underworld movie I went to see. This lady brought what?
It's interesting that you would see that movie.
Oh,
I would consider the Underworld movies bad movies.
Oh, they are.
We know I like bad movies.
Oh, they are.
So I'm surprised you would.
The first one, I loved the mystique of the world. I liked the idea that there were houses. I loved the lore, but they just weren't great movies. But I still went, and there was a girl involved.
Well, there you go.
So,
all right.
But I remember this lady taking her kid out of Underworld 2 in the first 5 minutes, and I'm thinking, that's on you. Like, you brought your kid to that. So I say all of that to say, is it just make good movies? Like, don't worry about whether or not don't worry about whether or not they're kid friendly, or if you make a good movie, the people will come. MCU. And then let your cartoon universe be your cartoon universe. And I feel like those two things are at odds with each other.
I think what we have learned and the world has learned is every franchise that wants to be a franchise needs their Kevin Feige. If there was some type of Kevin Feige, and maybe that's Eastman, or maybe that's Laird, maybe that's somebody over the movie franchise.
I don't think it's them.
I don't know. Because they kind of had not necessarily a falling out.
Oh, they had a falling out.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. They weren't like going to blows though. They weren't talking.
Yep.
But they brought up in that documentary. I can't remember what it was called. But they're talking now. They're working on stuff or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, they need, every franchise, and Turtles needs some type of a Kevin Feige to kind of shepherd it and say, this is what we're going to do here. This is what we're going to do here. And maybe it's a thing if you are trying to fracture your fan base, or you want to go different avenues, maybe the cartoons are where you go with the kiddie friendly affair.
And just make good movies.
Yeah, and your live action stuff can be a little bit harder. And I guess it's because whoever owns Turtles also changes too in terms of like who licenses the properties. Because at one point it was with Fox Kids, and then I think Nickelodeon has it now, most recently, and they've had a couple different versions of it. But I guess Nickelodeon as a studio doesn't want to have super violent, shredded turtles. Which I get. I don't need that, but I think you can be a little edgier with your turtles to try and get closer to what was in the first Turtles movie.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the first Turtle movie. And I think some of the things that also helped that Turtles movie in its popularity was the music, the aesthetic.
Sure.
That whole Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Sir, that was Turtles 2.
What was Vanilla Ice was in the first one, right?
No, he was not.
What was the music from the first one? There was music from the first one.
Nothing like chart topping.
I think there was. Oh.
Vanilla Ice was Turtles 2, sir.
You sure?
Yes. Oh, am I sure? Stab you. That was Secret of the Ooze. Was Turtles 2. That was Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. Yeah. To me, the thing that the Turtles 1 was really the atmosphere and the aesthetic and the relationships they built between the turtles. For a while, a lot of the turtles seemed kind of similar.
Yeah.
And probably with the original comic books, because they were in black and white, you couldn't really do much to differentiate whatever. But they kind of got personalities when the cartoons came out, and you had different people voicing them, and you had your party dude, your scientist, your leader, your rebellious person, and then those personalities kind of went with the movie as well, and you got people doing different stuff.
What's funny about it is that you have a huge fan base and a strong, like right now, the Turtles are on issue 100 from IDW. And we have seen the addition of Jenica. Is that the first female turtle?
You want to get into this?
No.
There was a live action. Okay, we won't get into it.
No, we're not going to.
There was another female turtle.
But that issue is worth a pretty big amount of money. Mm-hmm. So it's not. I guess what I'm saying is it's not like you can't have violent turtles in one universe as far as like comic books, and then not have like. I guess I'm wondering, is there a happy medium in the franchise to have a semi-violent turtle movie that is accessible to young adults?
And maybe it's going back to the CG style of the Turtles, because again, that TMNT one that came out mid 2000s or something, before the Michael Bay stuff, after the live action stuff, it was really good. They kind of had it focused more on, because it had Karai in there. I want to say Casey Jones was in it. It had Raphael donning his night vigilante alter ego or whatever. Yeah.
Boundless Book asked, did you see the Ninja Turtles versus Batman movie?
I did.
Did you like it?
I thought it was alright.
Okay.
It was fun. It was essentially just retelling the comic book, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
That I paid a lot of money for.
Why?
Because I'm dumb. And I got like the variant cover stuff. So I was like, oh, here's issue number 1 or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought that was fun. And I think they were going to do the sequel, because I know that they did a second run of Batman. No, I mean a sequel movie.
Oh.
I think they're doing that based on the sequel run or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. Yeah. For me, mine is, I was going to, I've given up on Aliens, the Alien franchise, the Xenomorph. I'm done.
So now Lathan hasn't given up on you?
Make sure they can't see that.
So now Lathan, man, she was a...
If I could tell you to go...
A predator warrior!
First of all, Sanaa Lathan is not in the Alien universe.
I'm pretty sure Aliens vs. Predator is canon.
It's not.
Okay. All
it's
right.
not. So I'm going to go with the aforementioned Predator universe. I would like to reboot that. I know that it's going to get its 6th movie.
Yes.
Directed by the director of Creed, Creed 2. I don't know what his name is.
Okay.
But the last one left a bad taste in my mouth. As I watched that, I was disgusted.
Because there are a lot of people in there that I like as actors and actresses, and they were just bad. Keegan Michael Key, Thomas Jane. I'm like, what are you guys doing in this? This is bad. Who's the guy that won the Emmy recently? Black actor that won the Emmy maybe 2-3 years ago for People vs. O.J. Simpson.
Oh, Mahershala Ali?
No. Sterling K. Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. They had good people in that movie.
Gosh, that movie was
And
terrible.
it was not good.
Let me, I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah.
Because that was during the time when everybody was like, Sterling K. Brown is awesome and he's great because This Is Us. And then they realized, oh, he's just okay and other stuff. Because I like Hotel Artemis.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like mind-blowingly good in that.
Yeah, but I mean, he was good in Black Panther. I liked him in Black Panther a lot. I thought in his little role, I thought he
For
did a
the
lot.
6 minutes he was in it, and they killed him.
I mean, you do what you got to do. Matthew McConaughey got an Oscar for a supporting role for like 5 minutes in Wolf of Wall Street.
Hey, that was a great role.
But I'm saying it was short.
No, I'm sorry.
It was short.
Hold on. Matthew McConaughey telling him he needs those are rookie numbers, get his stuff up, is far superior to what Sterling K. Brown did in Black Panther. I forgot Sterling K. Brown was in Black Panther.
Oh, that's on you.
No, that's on him.
That's not
he
on
needs
him.
to up his game.
People vs. OJ.
He was good in that, but that's a TV show.
Okay.
Like you said.
So what you're saying is he can't make the jump to movies.
I'm saying that he has not established himself as a good movie actor, as a long form story actor in a TV show. Good, because he was great as Christopher Darden. I'm not gonna knock him, but I love Hotel Artemis, and he was just.
I think Brian Tyree Henry was in that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was. See.
Yeah.
You and that's why I said Black Panther. I mean, I think he was okay, but I mean, give me fake Forrest Whitaker in the beginning was better than he was. I stand by that.
That's his kid.
Who?
That's Forrest Whitaker's son.
That is?
Yes. That's why they look so similar. That is his actual son.
Wow.
You just now know that now?
Yeah. That's awesome. He was better than Sterling K. Brown was.
All right, shut up.
I'm just saying.
What are we doing?
Okay. Anyway.
You're talking about the Predator, right?
Yeah.
How we get on this?
Because you brought up Sterling K. Brown. Because I didn't even realize he was in The Predator.
Okay.
That movie was trash, basically what I'm saying. But friend of the show, Sterling K. Brown, is a good actor.
Yes. Friend of the show, please come on and talk to us so we can trash your career.
I'm not trashing his career. I'm just saying. Hotel Artemis was a good movie. He was just okay in it.
Okay.
I thought Brian Tyree Henry elevated that movie because of who he was. And I think Sterling K. Brown is a great actor, but those two movies were not that good. And I wonder, is it because he plays he's such a nice guy? Like it's hard to be like a horrible, like he's never done like the horrible, like great actor. You know, like when you see that person, you're like, oh my gosh, Jack Nicholson ate that person in that movie. That kind of role.
I know what you mean, but yeah, okay.
Anyway, the first Predator is a quintessential movie that you're just like, what am I watching? It's still like, even, I would wager that the CG is a little hokey somewhat, but to me, like the movie itself still holds up in 4K. I think the movie still holds up. And I think part of the problem is that that they keep trying to redo the movie instead of sticking to what worked about that first movie. And why even the second one, they went a little weird with it, but you still, the core of the movie is a creature from another planet is hunting some of the best warriors on the planet. And he's not even there.
Trying. Oh, sorry, where are you going?
No, I mean, like he's not even the main focus for the first third of the movie.
Yeah, weren't they going after like some?
Yeah, they were
rebel
CIA. It was a military operation. They were sent in. That's the thing. But I think that a lot of people forget that. Yes, Ken from Chicago. That was called Predators. I think that was as close as possible as you could get to the original Predator movie. But every other movie fails at getting to that core thing. Because if you think about it, the first part of the movie is establishing who your actors were, what they were badasses. The second part of the movie is them going back from whatever mission that they accomplished and then getting hunted. And then the third part of the movie is Arnold just going to town, you know, home alone in the jungle.
He is kind of home alone in the jungle.
So.
Oh, wait, does that mean the Predator or the Wet Bandit? The Predator's the Wet Bandit?
Pretty much. I mean, according to you. Everything is home alone to you.
You're the one who said it.
That's because that's the phrase that you use whenever we bring up James Bond movie, Home Alone. Whenever we bring up
I feel like I've only said this for one thing.
no, that's you say it for everything.
What else?
James Bond. It was another one on the tip of my tongue that you said.
That don't exist.
Yes,
Okay.
it does. Because you like the chat got mad at you one day. You were like, "No, it's not." I couldn't remember what it was.
Chat, y'all let us know what else I said was Home Alone. I just remember Skyfall being Home Alone at the end.
Oh yeah, you literally say that for every time we bring that up.
It is.
But I think going back, one, I love the idea when I was a kid of merging the Predator and the aliens together in one universe. I love the Predator and Alien comics.
You remember that game?
Yeah.
The 3-player game?
The
That
4-player
was-
game.
It was 4 players?
Yep.
In my mind,
It was 4 players. It
because
was just
it
like
was 2 humans, a
and 2
Predator and
Predators.
alien?
Yep. It was a big guy and it was a
Oh,
girl.
no, you never fought you fought the aliens. You were
Yeah.
2 Predators and 2 humans, right? Yeah,
You were a hunter or you were a warrior,
Yeah.
and then you were the blonde guy who
Yeah.
looked like Guile, and then you were like Lady J.
Yeah, that was,
Yep.
what a fun game.
Yep.
Man, remake that.
Um,
Let's bring that back for PlayStation 5.
it's you
with,
can
with 4K,
you can
120 frames per
you
second.
can emulate it somewhere. I forget. Because
Yeah.
that is my favorite. That's like one of my favorite old school games.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the 2 universes mixing, but that movie was trash. I'm sorry, and I'm going to do my well. Actually, it really did not do a good job of using the best of both of those franchises, and it was a very campy. It wasn't scary. Like the idea behind that first Predator movie and that first Alien movie is the fact that these are creatures that if you that you have to outwit, outsmart, outlast. Boom. Didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't see that coming. I didn't know we were doing Survivor. All right.
But think about it.
You're right.
You like
Yeah.
like if
Man,
you are.
somebody make that show Survivor with the Predator and alien.
But think about that. If you are up against an alien with just your wits, it's over.
Yeah.
If you're up against a predator, these men. Think about the first movie. These men are the most highly trained, aggressive badasses on the planet. And they couldn't take out a predator. And so get back to that, like that core concept. The Predators movie that had Adrian Brody,
Lawrence Fishburne.
and
In such a weird but awesome role.
it was. I like that movie. The only thing I thought Topher Grace was the biggest problem in that movie. Because I feel like the Predators were not going to watch some dude killing people and put him in that. Like I felt like that was a mistake. But I really think, get back to that. And if I was going to reboot this series, you know where I would drop a Predator in?
Brazil?
A war zone.
Oh, okay.
Fallujah.
Okay.
This is how I would reboot the Predator. He's not like the Predator. They have these code where they hunt people. Who would you hunt? The best place to hunt is in a war zone. Go back to the original. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go back to the original right now. Set it up like this with all the technology we have. The U.S. military is right now trying to fight insurgents in these countries. Pick a place. Doesn't matter. You want to go to Africa, Mogadishu. You want to go to Fallujah. You want to go whatever. Drop a predator in the middle of that, and then the 2 opposing forces have to get their shit together because the predator's wiping them both out. So you take a squad of Marines, Special Forces, whatever. They're trying to take out the Taliban over here. The Taliban, you go in and you're like, what the hell? The Taliban is crazy. And the Taliban is like, we did not do this. And then you have to work together.
How does this end?
Oh, that's a great point.
Because I don't know any terrorist organization depicted well in a movie that would make people want to cheer for them when they root with other people.
This is the thing. This is the thing. they have to team up together. And that's where you're like, you don't pit it where it is you cheer for them. This is a horror movie. See, that's the problem with a lot of people. You're cheering. No, this is a horror movie. You're think. This is the thing. What's the scariest thing to you?
I wouldn't want to be hunted.
But the unknown. So imagine you're a soldier. You are the best highly trained military U.S. personnel. Wherever you're from, you always believe that let's throw a little bit of nationalism in it. You believe that your country trains the best soldiers, yada, yada, yada. You go out there, you're told this is the enemy. And you show up, and the Taliban is like, we surrender. Hey, we need some help. There's something out there. And you're like, what? And and they're scared, so scared, they turn to you for help. That would scare me, that the enemy that I'm here to kill is now looking to me for help. Like, what is so bad that they're like, look, we know you're infidels. We're okay with your way of life right now because we got a bigger threat. That, and show basically the devastation that a predator could do against because think about it. Say what you will about insurgents, terrorists, whatever. We ain't got rid of them yet. So they kind of know what they're doing. So these two groups now have to team up to just survive.
Okay.
And then this is another thing. They're off. No one believes them. No one believes that they're actually in trouble.
And how does it wrap up?
Honestly, the predator wins.
Okay. This is No Country for Old Men? Bad guy wins?
Do you know who wins?
We win?
Nope. In the movie, you set it up where you talk about who are we rooting for in this movie? We all know if you've seen Homeland, you've seen some of these cultures who have, this probably may get, but you have families locked in this battle overseas, just like we have family members locked in this battle as well, right? So if you're in this village and the Taliban is like, we have families. This is big, this is bigger than us. And and then you're like, the soldiers are like, look, we'll help you, but you got to give up if we get out of this. And your family will be okay. Those are the only people get out.
Side note.
Yep.
You know Cardi B got WAP merchandise?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm behind. All right. Sorry. I just wasn't ready for that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Back to somebody said the humans keep betraying each other. Came from Chicago. Yeah, and that's the problem. The humans have an opportunity to team up, but it's only due to our own inadequacies, our own ineptness, that we see the ultimate predator and still will stab each other in the back and not do what we need to do to take him out. And that's what I said. Get back to the whole thing. Arnold barely won. Arnold did, and if you think about it, Arnold didn't win. He blew himself up. The first Predator nuked himself just to get Arnold.
Yeah.
He didn't really win. So that's what you should, in my opinion, you should bring it back to. Go back to what worked. Soldiers out there doing their own thing, silently being hunted, and then they have to turn around and you think about who was in the original Predator movie. Arnold, Carl Weathers, Shane Black was in the original Predator movie as Hawkins. Jesse Body Ventura, Bill Dukes, Billy, the Native American guy, and who was the lady? I can't remember what her name is, but she's been in a couple other stuff. But you think about that team of people. You're like, and that was just one of them. Now imagine you're in a far off land. You're up against.
Everybody's saying Arnold didn't win; he just survived. Yeah.
So yeah, Do that again. Just use and imagine this. We have drones. We've got all the things we have. The big dog that special forces are using. That's made by Boston Dynamics. That's going to take over the world eventually and be the
That's a cute little
T-1000.
dog in the videos.
Oh, did you like that cute little dog to be your human overlord? Because that's what's going to happen.
If the dog tricks me into watching his cute little TikTok videos some more.
That's exactly what's going to happen. But basically you get. No, I disagree with Kim from Chicago, The Rock, Jason Statham. No, you get regular, don't make it the Expendables. Get
Don't make it Hobbs and Shaw.
yeah, you get regular
You get us.
basically, you get regular soldiers, people who look like they would be in the military, and you say, let's see who wins. And that's how you reboot it. And every Predator movie after that is basically a horror movie. With basically this monster is wrecking shop through our best and brightest. The next one, Predator on a ship. Predator in Africa.
Predator in space.
Predator on the ISS.
Predator in the hood. Now it's big leprechauns.
Ooh, I watched Predator in the Hood. Predator won't know what to do with the hood. But yeah, it's like that's what I would love to see because
Do you have a director in mind for your Predator movie?
I do.
Because for my Turtles movie, I'd say Justin Lin.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who
Justin Lin knows how to reboot stuff and make it cool and hip, like he did with the Fast and Furious movies. Who for you?
You ready? You sitting down?
I think so.
You should stand up and sit down.
I'll just stand. I'll just sit.
Neil Blomkamp.
Huh. Okay.
He's already shown he can do creature effects. He can handle special effects with no budget. He's already shown you he knows.
But then when he gets a budget, it don't.
This is the thing. His problem is he needs what everybody else needs, not to do his own work. He needs an editor. He needs not studio notes. He needs a good screenwriter because say what you will about his movies, story wise, they all look amazing. If you look at District 9, go look at Elysium, and you look at how he shoots war scenes, no one touches him when it comes to sci-fi and war scenes like that. You stick him, give him a Predator, give him some no-name Middle Eastern African country.
Okay.
Light it up.
What have people been saying in the chat in terms of what they want to do, whatever?
Oh, IMAX says that he thought I was going to say I was going to direct it. I would love to.
And I hope you don't direct like you direct the show.
It would be awesome.
I know it wouldn't. You'd be making people cry.
Maybe they need some tears in the movie.
Okay, great.
Maybe they need tears.
Okay.
And first of all, I hadn't made anybody cry in a long time. I haven't made anybody cry in 2020.
That's because you're not allowed.
Is that allowed in the building? Is that allowed in the building? How about that?
I guess that's true. You have it. Yeah, that's true. All right.
I've been on my best behavior.
Yeah. Okay.
And I should have made somebody cry today, but I didn't.
I don't think you could.
Oh, I can.
I don't think that person has it in him. They're just really like, huh?
Challenge accepted.
Okay. you just look at you like, what?
I now have a goal for 2020. But yeah, that's because right now we're on our 6th Predator movie.
Uh-huh.
And we've had maybe 3 good ones. To me, 2 good ones. And the second one was kind of okay.
What is that? You almost did saying whose movie?
Alexa Wood's movie was bad. Is that the Predator versus Aliens? Was that because the Predators versus Aliens movie? I didn't like that because I thought it was too campy.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say campy because it seems like an issue that these great franchises, at least in our minds, for you Predator, for me Turtles, when they start up here and they go to try to get these bigger audiences, and it seems like the common denominator is making them campy to bring in more people, which would seem like, oh, maybe don't do that. It doesn't seem to work all the time for everything.
There's a very fine line between serving your core audience and making it accessible.
Lance Henriksen was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah, I know how bad this movie is. Let me tell you how bad these movies are. Remember Aliens versus Predator Requiem?
I never saw that one.
To be glad you didn't.
And I wanted to see it because I heard that one was at least better than.
No, it wasn't.
Really? It was worse than Aliens vs Predator?
Aliens versus Predator looks like The Irishman.
Wow.
Predators.
Uh-huh.
The Predator is a better movie than Alien versus Requiem.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought everybody was kind of excited because that one's R, right?
It is R.
Because they're like, oh, now they can.
But it's not like
It doesn't.
because it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
And it's like,
Gotcha.
and I'm trying to remember. It was like during that time when I'm trying to remember who was popular. Like, because that's why like the Predators to me was bad because they threw all these people they tried to make happen. The white guy.
Sam Worthington?
No, kind of like him, but also the guy plays Rick Flag and
Oh, Joe Kinnaman?
yeah, he's like the guy who's in the Predators. He's that white guy that always trying to make happen. It's always.
Okay.
But yeah, what's your other one?
Can you guess?
No.
Power Rangers.
Well, they are doing Power Rangers again.
I know.
So.
This is okay. So this one is the actual opposite.
Because they
To
went
me-
serious in the last one.
Yeah. To me, this is the opposite problem that Ninja Turtles had.
Yeah.
The first movie is not good, and I realize that, but it holds a special place in my heart because it was my childhood. It was me growing up. So that movie was campy. I kind of want them to go back to being campy in these movies and not try to be so serious. Like they tried to give Zordon a backstory. We didn't need Zordon did not need to have a backstory in the most recent movie. Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks, I actually liked her in the role.
Because she knew what kind of movie she was in.
It seemed like she was. People would say they didn't like her because she was in a different movie. I like the fact that she played it kind of hamming up and campy, and I wish everybody else would have done that as well. That's what I want from a Power Rangers movie, is to be kind of campy and realize these guys are just in rubber monster suits and latex and spandex and these Power Ranger outfits. It's cool. If you had to go serious, it would. I think it would be cool if they took the cartoon route of going with Lord Dracon and doing all that, the Shattered Grid stuff, because that stuff is great. They have found a way to take what was campy about Power Rangers and make it serious and be like, oh, there's the power grid and the spheres and crystals. Cool stuff.
I will say that the comic book itself, Boom Studios, is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's like the whole Ranger Slayer, all that stuff, and the fact that Tommy is bad and literally took over. Like I think all of that stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would like to see the comic that's currently going on right now that's about to be rebooted again, done as a nice anime. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, that was, for me, it's Predator. I would reboot that franchise. Okay. It's interesting you went with two of your childhood favorites of like.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's interesting you went there, and those two things haven't been done properly in a while. And you're still a fan of them.
Just because they were ingrained in me at this point. Like if I try to watch them now, seeing it for the first time, I probably wouldn't care as much about them, but I grew up with them. I'm excited about, since we're just talking about reboots overall, I am excited to see what this Mortal Kombat movie is going to be next year. Because the martial artists that they have in it are some killers in terms of the stuff they can do on screen.
Oh, yeah.
So if they're allowed to show off their talent, it's going to be really cool. I don't really... People are excited because they want it to be vicious and rated R and intense, because that's what the game is. But the game is kind of an escape for me in terms of, because I know it's digitized and it's, even though there are fatalities, they're kind of so over the top that they don't seem as real. So I don't know if I need real fatalities in this thing.
So you don't want it to look like Saw?
No.
Because I got a feeling it's going to look like Saw.
That's what I'm saying. I think they were really pushing. We went extreme on this. Like, I don't know if I need it to be that extreme. I just want to see good martial arts.
Kim from Chicago says Elizabeth Banks knows how to camp it up. She killed it in the Hunger Games. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Ken from Chicago says Reboot Event Horizon as full sci-fi psychological horror.
Man, that's a creepy movie.
And guess who directed it?
Is that Paul W?
Yep.
Yeah.
His only good movie.
Sir, he made Mortal Kombat.
His only good movie.
He made Resident Evil, didn't he?
His only good movie.
He's making Monster Hunter.
His only good movie. I love Event Horizon. I watch it once a year just to scare the hell out of it.
Nope. I saw it the one time, like, oh no.
So you didn't know what it was going in?
No!
Oh.
I was like, oh, this is interesting. Oh,
That's the best
this ship
kind.
is going
That
wild.
is the best kind of movie.
And I don't even like scary movies. Like, what is this?
That is the best kind. You don't know what's about to happen. You just go into it blind. That's how I watched. That's how I watched John Wick. I had no idea what John Wick was about. I didn't watch. I watched the trailers. Like, I like Keanu. Let's see. And I was like,
December 10th is almost here, man.
yep.
Are you picking up day one, or are you?
I told him to get it for me for Christmas.
Okay.
Because
And,
if it doesn't come out,
it's out in the wild, so
Yeah.
people are playing it. So I guess it finally is coming out. You still don't believe it? They got advanced copies.
when it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So my second is not necessarily a reboot, but the Video Game Awards said, what is the next gen game that you're excited about?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you and Avery, and immediately, like without hesitation, out of the list that was up there, it was Halo Infinite, Horizon Zero Dawn, it was Ratchet and Clank, I think was up there.
No, I don't think so. Was it?
Was it? I can't remember. It was 5 games. I know, but
Probably look
but
at
basically
the
the one
songs,
that you picked was, you and Avery said, hands down, was God of War. Why God of War?
I said God of War.
Yep.
I did.
Yeah. You literally tweeted out a picture of Kratos.
No, that wasn't me. That was Avery that tweeted.
No, both of you did.
I didn't tweet out a picture. Maybe I retweeted something. I definitely didn't tweet out a picture.
It was a GIF.
That wasn't me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm about to go look
Okay.
because I meant to ask. I really meant to ask the two of you, like, really? Because you it was no hesitation. You both were like,
See, I thought I said Breath of the Wild. Did I not?
nope. You said God of War sequel. I will not be taking any questions.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess I'll stick with that opinion and die on it.
No. What I'm saying is, I would
God
like,
of War it was really good. And if we're talking about stuff that rebooted stuff and got it right,
yeah.
God of War did a great job from David Jaffe, who helped create the original God of War. You know, he had a mission, and the first God of War was fine. Now it's definitely dated, and Kratos is probably problematic in terms of how he treats people. It is what it is.
You mean the first God of War or the reboot God of War?
The first God of War.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of his overall view of stuff. And people are like, oh, he's cool, he's edgy, and he's covered in the ashes of his dead wife and daughter. Which sounds cool. Now it's kind of like, ugh, disgusting, whatever. But as those games kept going more and more, it's like...
They became button masters.
Yeah, well, not even... Yeah, they did, but also from the story standpoint, it's just like, how many more people are left to kill in
Mythology.
Yeah, in mythology. And I guess he finally killed them all, and that's how we got the reboot or whatever. But Cory Barlog, I think is his name, with Sony Santa Monica Studios, they found a way to reboot God of War and giving him a kid, grounding him with his kid, with Atreus. Was it Atreus?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Atreus, it was really good. It grounded Kratos. It made him look on his
Exploits.
his exploits of what he did before and think about, I can't be the same way with my son as I was with my daughter and my previous wife, because he'd already lost his wife with this son. So
Well, not only that, I guess it's almost like he realizes not that I can't be that way. I was wrong a lot of times.
Mhm.
Like there seems to be, when you play the game. Now, granted, I know this is probably a war crime for some of you. I never finished it.
interesting,
Yeah, I never finished it.
because you stopped liking the story or something else came up. And,
Something else came up, and I got caught up in that place where you can just like farm stuff, and I didn't get back into the story, and then I lost interest in it, and so I need to get back into it. So that's one of the ones.
so do you know how it ends?
No.
It's very good.
But the idea is that I from what I played and how far I got, there seemed to be a reckoning in Kratos' life to make him realize I cannot behave this way anymore. And it also seemed and I could be wrong. And also, his son, he saw a little bit of. It almost seemed like that Anakin Skywalker kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. There
Yeah.
seemed to be more story with it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be God of War. Of the ones, and I can't remember. So it was God of War, Breath of the Wild, Halo, Horizon. Was it Ratchet and Clank? That
I
doesn't seem
want to
like,
say Ratchet and Clank, but I could.
like
be
I'm
wrong.
excited for Ratchet and Clank, but I'm surprised they put that up there. But I don't know if that was the one or not.
But it was basically the most anticipated because we've gotten everybody asked for it. Not everybody likes it.
Well, no, a lot of people didn't ask for it.
Yeah, they did. A lot of people asked for this.
No, people were like, "Don't make a sequel. What are you making a
A
sequel?"
lot of
about?
people were like, asked for this. A lot of people wanted a sequel. I mean, I will say, as many people did not want it, as many people wanted it,
Okay.
if not more. Because I remember people like, they're making a Last of Us 2 finally. I would posit, I would like to see Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
I want to see where that, story goes.
Let's bring back Lance Reddick, man.
Because when you think about it, is he the villain, or is he like you like what? Because his story wasn't over,
Right.
And we also know someone sent the code to wake up Hades, and if you play the DLC, you realize there are two. I want to say two entities out there that Gaia was defending the world against, and so I want to see what the rest of the world looks like, but I also want to see because Aloy to me seemed to be one of the most interesting new characters, not just because she was a woman, but because she rejected the dogma of where she came from,
Right.
like that whole religion and everything, and
Yeah.
it was
She
almost
was using technology and all that stuff. Yeah.
but it's not just using, like they use technology, but she used it in a way that was an affront to their gods and all, and it
Yeah.
just seemed like she was the fish out of water that I enjoyed, who wasn't just going along, and I really enjoyed that. So I would really like for my next gen sequel. I want to see that. Now, what game do you want to see brought, like God of War, rebooted, not a sequel, rebooted on a next gen console?
Reboot.
Yep. Because you mentioned God. The reason why I bring it up is because you've mentioned God of War, and you can't say Mass Effect because we already know we're getting that. So you can't say something that's already in the pipe. But what game would you like to see that you enjoyed, rebooted, retooled, and how would you retool it? Because you've said so yourself. God of War was a totally different game from what we previously saw, to the point where it was Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It literally changed the landscape. And this is another thing I want you to remember. You played God of War, but God of War is one of those hard games that you don't like.
Not the same way.
No, but what I'm saying is,
It's not like a Demon Souls.
it is.
No.
It's not as hard.
Well, no, but the structure isn't the same either because it's not. It doesn't have like the same system in terms of your save point structure where.
Oh
if
no,
you
no, no,
save,
not
you
like
restart all that. Kind
what I'm saying is it's a hard melee type third. It's that hard melee third person
Yeah.
where if you have to know how to use the weapons, you have to know how to block, you have to know how to.
Yeah.
You have to know how to maneuver because you have to parry. Because
Well, it's like Star Wars Fallen Order kind of has the same skills in terms of like
Yeah.
your combat and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. What game would I want to come back?
we've already seen Resident Evils. We've already seen the Final Fantasy. What would you like to see using this new technology, considering the PS5?
Oh, honestly, what I would love to come back is my favorite game of all time. They've already done it with Final Fantasy VII. Do it with Chrono Trigger. Give me a full 3D animated world, incredible sprites, or maybe it doesn't have to be 3D. Maybe it's just a new 2D something with really incredible graphics that does Chrono Trigger with more story in it and more endings for Chrono Trigger.
Would you like to see it done like Hades, like a studio did it, a top down, or do you is it
Well,
need to
it
be
was
2D?
already top down. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, would you like to see would you like to see? Because Hades is
Like isometric.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. I don't know, but just give me.
I'm like,
give
so,
me
I guess what I'm
maybe
saying,
like a watercolor style aesthetic with graphics for the characters, full voiceover, everything's acted in VO and everything. Great presentation. Really dial in on the cinematics with the CG and everything, and give me more endings, and just expand on the lore of Chrono Trigger, because we had Chrono Cross, which is kind of a sequel to Chrono Trigger, but it was so weird and confusing, and I don't feel like it tied up a lot of the ends that could have happened from Chrono Trigger. So give me that. There is like a reboot. I think it's called Crimson Dreams, which was like a homebrew game that people made, and people kind of consider that a indie made sequel to Chrono Trigger. But no, give me a proper Square Enix Chrono Trigger. Bring back all the team. Bring back Akira Toriyama to do more animation. Nobuo Umetsu as for composer, all that stuff. Bring it all back.
was it Squaresoft?
At the time, it was Squaresoft, yeah.
So it'd be Square Enix now.
Yeah.
Maybe you should write them.
I don't know. I mean, they lose the money with Avengers, so do Chrono Trigger. I think three of us in here, me, Brian Gamer, and Rayshawn might have been the other voice. No, maybe it was Antoine Allen who said that they bought Avengers. I don't know. Wait, there's not many of us who bought Avengers. Not enough. So, yeah.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to buy a little.
Square Enix, you would get my money with the Chrono Trigger reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the game for you?
Oh wow! Somebody said Event Rising. Okay. That's an old school one. I hadn't heard that name in a while.
Advent Rising?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I hadn't heard that one in a while. For me,
Burnout. Yeah. Okay. Psychonauts is coming.
yeah, there's a
Keith
second-
Robinson. Oh,
yeah.
Psychonauts 2 is coming eventually.
supposedly.
Yeah.
Reboot Dead Space. Reboot Dead Space.
Do you want it, like, is there a certain engine you want it in, or you got an idea how you want it to look, or?
Go back to third person.
Uh-huh.
Go back to the first one. I love the idea of. I enjoyed the third one, but the third one had too many. They were going in too many different directions.
Because it's not really like a horror game so much in the third
It's
one, right?
it is a horror game.
But I thought like the first one's like really scary, and the third one they kind of give you more ammunition. So
They gave co-op because co-op is a big thing. And a lot of times, games are victims of like whatever's popular, like multiplayer. Multiplayer is popular.
Sure.
So like everybody has to have multiplayer in their game, and just something you have to be like, we're not doing it. Like screw that. That's what happened with that. People complain and were like, it's too scary. Well, put on your big boy pants or your big girl pants and, shut the hell up.
Okay.
Rayshawn K, we are getting a new Bioshock. They've already said that they're going
the
back.
team's working on
Yeah,
it.
something.
Yeah.
They then said what it is. Dead Space, the first one, I can honestly, like, I'm not a big buy game day one. I don't pay full price for games. I'm cheap. I bought Dead Space day one.
Okay.
I bought Dead Space. Dead Space and Destiny are two games I bought day one. I want Dead Space to come back. I want to see what the new. I don't like Spore, whatever that is, but I want to see the Xbox Series X game. It's based on the H.R. Geiger.
Oh,
yeah.
that thing looks
Yeah,
freaky.
I don't need that, but I do
Yeah.
want to see what the Xenomorphs would look like in 4K.
Okay.
I do want to see how they would design them, how they would use the game engines. Either that or Fear.
Oh, with the little girl and
Almost,
everything?
yeah. Fear, they went crazy in that one, but the first one, that first one was amazing. The way that they designed the AI behind that game was amazing. I really want to get back to there being different games of different. We have third-person shooters. I want to get back to where you have a third-person shooter back in the day. Like, imagine how many third-person shooter different type games we had. You had your science fiction game. You had your, your run and gun. You had your all.
Primal Rage.
But yeah.
Okay. And there are not a lot of next gen fighters that have been announced. We know Capcom is supposedly working on Street Fighter 6. Hasn't been announced yet.
They're always working on a Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You can't make a game system without a Street Fighter.
NetherRealm is probably working on Injustice 3 now at this point, and probably working on Mortal Kombat 12. But yeah, it would be interesting to see bring Primal Rage back.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see like the third person genre, first person, where you have multiple different games in that. And those two games were, I want to say, revolutionary in the sense of they creeped you out, they scared you. Mm-hmm. And I miss that because I don't watch a lot of scary movies, but I will play a scary game in a minute if I get to shoot people, because I feel like if you give me a gun, I'll take it on.
Okay.
But like if it's like Silent Hill scary, nah, bro, I don't need that in my life.
The pyramid head dragon.
Nah, I don't need. I will say the Silent Hill movie, that was awesome. When he pulled the skin off that dude, I was like, yo, that was wild.
So nasty.
It was, but it was wild.
You still haven't played Astro's Playroom yet, have you?
Nah, I've been playing Control.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice little. And the reason why I went back to Fear and Dead Space is because Control has this creepy aesthetic to it. Mm-hmm. That the way it plays out, it's just phenomenal. Okay. And the gameplay is great, but it doesn't use like. You ever watch a game and you're like, that's pretty, but it sucks.
Yeah, sure.
Control is so different. It uses a very interesting color palette, but it's not to the point where it's overpowering, but it's very drab and it draws you in. So that's what I've been thinking about. Like, what other game is like this? And for $20, PlayStation sale? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was thinking about buying Dance Central 2021.
I don't know what to do with that.
Nothing. I'm just saying, we were talking about games on sale. That game is on sale on Nintendo Switch. I think about getting it.
What would you like for me to do with that information?
Nothing.
I have nothing to contribute to that.
I like dance games. Dance Central.
Somebody brought up Siphon Filter, and I enjoyed Siphon Filter. Go back, if you like Siphon Filter, go back and look at the history of how that game got made and why it got made. Because it's very interesting. Because it wasn't supposed to be Siphon Filter. It's supposed to be a Mission Impossible game. And they changed it at the last minute.
I can see that in terms of the mission structure.
It was supposed to be a Mission Impossible game that they changed.
This is a game that has been announced and it's coming out, but it was a game that was rebooted. Mm-hmm. Kind of the Hitman games. Their Hitman 3 is coming out in January, and those games kind of had a reboot recently in terms of how the company.
How you get your target, yeah.
Yeah, they dole it out as a level every other month or so, and there's maybe 10 different ways to kill 5 different targets. Mm-hmm. Those are a lot of fun. I think I'm quite want to get Hitman 3 for PlayStation 5.
Ryan Porter brings up a good point. Now these are games, it seems like some games are getting way too complicated. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Sure.
Some of them are. Like, there's something to a campaign that's only 10 to 20 hours versus Cyberpunk that says that it could be up to 175 hours. Like...
All right. Me and Johnny Silverhands driving through Night City. So, yeah.
You plan to buy Cyberpunk?
I got it free. When I bought the Xbox One, the Cyberpunk theme Xbox One X. Yeah, I get it day one. Whenever it comes out. I was like, yeah, finally got it. Cool.
I think you did that just to rub it in.
I won't say no.
Yeah.
That it?
Yeah.
All right.
What got you through the week, man?
Oh, man. I've been meaning to tell everybody about this. I've talked about this.
Bollywood crap.
First of all, stop hating on Indian cinema movies.
I will stop hating on Indian cinema movies when they stop the hatred of our dark-skinned brothers and sisters and try not to tap Beyonce at the same time. That's right, India. I'm coming for you. Whole country.
The whole country. Friends of the show. The country of India. Friends of the show. But no, it's actually...
Me versus India.
Wow. Okay. No, it's not. It is on Netflix, but it's not a Bollywood movie. There's a thing that I've noticed, not recently, but I've just noticed in terms of reality television. A lot of times it's kind of like, oh, it's
bad.
trashy. Yeah. But it depends on where you're getting your reality television from and where it's focused. Like, American reality television is usually trying to get drama and be trashy and find crappy people. Something about the UK for whatever the reality show is, if you find the right one, it's about building people up. Like, for example, Great British Break Off. They are competing against each other, but they're not really like stabbing each other in the back, and they're trying to help each other, which I think is great. I say that to say there is a show called The Repair Shop on Netflix. Mm-hmm. There are 2 seasons of it now, and they have these master craftsmen and craftswomen going back and restoring antique replicas of like old clocks and vases and paintings that are ripped. It's a very soothing show, and it's nothing malicious. It's just people that have these old antiques in their houses, and they mean something to them, like maybe this is something that their great-great-grandfather had in a war, and they would just like to see.
Like a swastika?
No, nothing like that has happened. But they haven't. I think they have a good filter, so they know not to put that on the show.
Hey, I found this old bayonet.
Yeah, no, but it is old stuff. Just like, oh yeah, this is something that my parents gave to me. Now they're dead or whatever, and I want to get it restored. And people go through the process of restoring it, and you see how they do it, and it's incredible to see these people make these things look like they are brand new after being gone for 100 years. And the people that do the craftsmen, the work on the craftsmanship, they're men, they're women, they're black, white. I mean, it's all different people come together. Very nice show. Nothing malicious about it. It's just fun. And you see people...
basically just describe the YouTube videos I watch.
Maybe.
Because that's basically the YouTube videos of like when people find old guns or toys, and they restore them and they explain how, like everything they did. It's like a 5-minute YouTube video. That's basically what you just described.
Well, maybe I just start watching those too. But this thing is called The Repair Shop. Season 1 and Season 2 are on there now. Season 3 is coming soon. I think they're getting rid of one of the seasons to get Season 3 in. I was watching that. I was watching The Great Pottery Throwdown, which is a reality show of people potters. It's cool.
Okay.
Just to see, I'm a big fan of seeing people who are great at their craft, whatever their craft is. Mm-hmm. So if you make a pot, like that's cool. I can't do it. That's cool. And I'm watching a show. The new season just came out called The Great Pretender. I talked about it before. It's an anime. It's about a group of con men.
Food porn?
No, that's Food Wars, which is a great show. That's over, by the way. That's 5 seasons is done on Crunchyroll. Yeah, but no, this is...
It's aged out.
That was a good joke. That was a very good joke. No. This is about a bunch of confidence men running scams and grifts and cons on people. Mm-hmm. But the twist is, these are like confidence men with heart. So all the scams and the cons that they run are on people that are horrible. Like they run it on like the Yakuza are like a group of corrupt sheiks who are selling people for human trafficking stuff. Very fun show. Season 2 just came out.
Somebody brought up your show. I think O'Keefe Robinson, Forged in Fire. That's on Netflix.
Forged in Fire is fun too. Yeah, I was watching it on Hulu, but it's on Netflix now too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lauren's in the chat.
How long she been in the chat?
I don't know. I just saw somebody say hello, Lauren.
How long she been in the chat?
I don't know. I just noticed they're talking to Lauren now.
She's talking about hey y'all. Hey y'all what, Lauren? What you got to tell us?
Just noticed that.
Happy Thanksgiving, I guess.
Yeah, I just been watching and talk to Lauren as you explained to me YouTube videos.
Yeah. So what got you to do with YouTube videos?
Nah, I've been playing Control, and I really wasn't excited for the Animaniacs coming back. But I'll admit, it's been pretty good. Now, I will say the people, I'm not a fan of the people that they animate.
The people that they animate?
Like the way the people look that they animate.
Oh, so you don't like the animation overall?
No, I like the animation of like Yakko, Wacko, and Dot and like...
Oh, which like the humans.
Yeah, the humans are like that episode with the guy who's supposed to be the Greek, the Greek games. Oh, I was like, you are hard to look at, bro. And
oh, I was saying y'all need to watch Jingle Jangle.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she said that.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was in there.
I've heard. Excuse me. I went to my dad's house yesterday for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. My sister was there, and I think she said she saw Jingle Jangle. So okay.
I watch it after. I don't watch any Christmas stuff until December 1st.
Okay.
We don't put up we're gonna put up our tree probably.
Keep my tree up year round.
He's not joking about
life hack.
Not joking about that.
Life hack.
Yeah,
it'd be full of bugs.
I gotta admit, I was pleasantly surprised. Like that first song that came out, that I was like, okay, because I was trying to figure out how they would be, and they like addressed how are we going to be relevant when we made this in 2018. We're just gonna guess, and I was like, they got a spot on.
How many episodes are you in?
I'm only in 4, because I've been savoring them. Like I've been rewatching them over.
Yeah, I've been binging it. I think I'm on maybe the last 2. I am happy with the anime. Are we gonna do a review of Animaniacs?
We can.
Okay, I mean my short version. I'm happy with it, and they came harder than I thought they would in some things.
Son,
like because they weren't this hard when they were out in '93. I was like, oh,
yeah,
y'all
look like they had an axe to grind.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
I will say this: the Buns episode.
Yes, I was like, wow.
I felt attacked. Like I was like, why are the Animaniacs coming for me? I was yo. But the anime sequence in that was hilarious. I was like, why don't more people do this?
Dang, Brian Gamer, I do have something to look forward to. Avengers on the 8th. You right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all getting a new person.
Yes.
I'm not even being funny. Like I saw,
Kate Bishop finally, yeah.
We're just gonna do a Mando review overall.
You and AG?
You were supposed to. I'm not doing it with AG. She's not allowed in the building. Why would you put somebody try to put somebody who we knew was going to get sent home?
We didn't know that.
I told you they were going to send these people home because the cases were going up. I said it's going to go back to the 4 of us.
Who's the 4 of us?
Me, you, Avery, and whoever anchor we got.
And anchors?
Yeah, I told you that. I told you we were not like, I said, watch. Because the Sarandons talk about we could bring in more people in. I was like, okay. I said, watch after Thanksgiving. These numbers are going to skyrocket. And then after Christmas, January the 3rd, they're going to be like, everybody got coronavirus.
Oh, man, don't say that to me.
Birds got corona.
Don't say that to me.
Plant life. So, yeah, I told you that. You don't listen.
Kid from Chicago, why don't I care about my coworkers like Leroy does? Which coworkers do I not care about?
I don't care about them. I really don't. You have no idea. When they told us they were sending these people back home, I was singing Negro spirituals. Oh, happy days. Because let me tell you, I go to work, I come home. I don't know what these people be doing. I be trying to protect myself. But yeah, I told you they were sending them home. And hell, we know Anna Grace because Anna Grace was told you she was going to ask you, could she come in later?
She come in later?
Oh, she ain't talk to you? My bad.
Did you just tell this girl's plans?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought she was going to talk to you because she was like, yeah, I'm feeling like maybe I can come in a little later at 4 o'clock so I don't have to be around people that much.
She has not talked to me about this.
Oh, she don't have. She doesn't have. She doesn't have to because she got sick.
You never got to come in. You can work from home.
And honestly, based on what we learned today, as long as you get here before the show, you good.
Yo, this got real before we say some more stuff. Say bye to these people. This getting too real.
Yo, son, we were glad you guys were here. Take care of yourselves. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Hope you have a good holiday. Remember tomorrow, Small Business Saturday. So if you got some local comic book shops, game stores, or whatever, check them out first before you go to a big box retailer. Yeah, spend your money locally. Supposedly that helps within your community. Guys, stay safe. Put your leftovers up so you don't get sick. And take care of yourselves. We out. Peace. Yeah, man. Obviously, you ain't got to come to work.